everybody. So I'm going to, after this, post an interview that AJ Benza did with Judy Haim and Greg Harrison. I think it just has great insight into what kind of person Corey Feldman is and the things that he has said to poor Judy Haim here recently. So enjoy the interview. Thanks AJ Benza for a great interview with both of them. Until next time, enjoy.
Topics. I saw a horrible photo of Corey Feldman and his wife posing for a paparazzi at the Sundance Film Festival. And Feldman and his wife were wearing some ridiculous, shiny spacesuit material outfit. He had a hood on, looked like an asshole. I heard he broke out his Michael Jackson dance moves at the party. And I could tell that outfit was as ugly as it was expensive. It was custom made. And if you ask me, he probably dipped into that GoFundMe account he started to make that documentary where he's going to name all the molesters just as soon as he stops hanging out with one or two of them. Anyhow, that photo made me think of Corey Haim. And then I thought of Judy Haim, Corey's mom, who couldn't make it on the phone with me a couple of shows ago, but I know she's got stuff to say. And I was lucky enough to get Judy on the phone from Canada. Let me talk to Judy now and see what she has to say about what kind of a dick Corey Feldman's been to her lately.
Hello?
Hey, Judy, it's AJ.
Hey, AJ.
When is the last time Corey Feldman got a hold of you? Was it through email or an actual phone call?
No, through email, pretty much. Last year.
Yeah.
Last year, yep.
But nothing about the Lifetime movie. And they didn't tell you about that, apparently.
Oh, God, no. No.
Unbelievable.
No, nothing at all. But you know what? It really disturbed me that I saw him on the Dr. Oz not long ago.
Right.
Right? And he goes, oh, we offered her a part. So it sounded, see, this is what he does. Okay, and this is how he gets away with everything. Okay, he's just like one of those that the media made them the two Coreys. Now, that doesn't mean that my son was friends with him, right? And because of that, he's using it. And this is the problem. And if he goes on Dr. Oz or any interview and goes,
right.
Oh yeah, we just, we offered her a part and she didn't want to come on board. So what does that mean? Does that mean that we're not supposed to tell the truth and portray us? First of all, what is us? What is him and my kid? I mean, what is the obsession with us?
Did your son seem obsessed with Feldman? Did he act that way to you?
No, not at all. And this is why, AJ, I think that today it's extremely important that it's all going to come from my son's mouth.
Yeah.
There's no hearsay like Corey Feldman does or nothing. He had an interview and you can go and watch the Two Coreys, the reality show.
Right.
Where my son confronts him with his own and exposes his own abuse with Corey Feldman's friend. That came from my kid. My kid telling him, oh, great, what did you do with me? You did cocaine with me. Thank you very much, which Feldman introduced him to. Mm-hmm. It comes from my son's mouth, not from me.
Yeah. No,
okay.
Yeah.
And this interview in People magazine, which thank goodness it came up. I don't know where. Mm-hmm. Also, an interview from my son after the reality show was wrapped.
Yeah.
And this is the biggest problem. And this is going to lead to Corey Feldman telling the whole world, and that's how he's collecting money. He's telling everybody that my son told him to tell his life story, and I have an email, and I will explain to you how none of this makes any sense at all, because I put two and two together,
right.
And whatever he says is BS, and at this point, I want him to have a witness, and I want him to prove that this is my son gave him the right to talk about his life.
You said you have an email that says something counter to that Corey Haim.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about the email. What does it say?
So now, okay, but it leads up to that, AJ, and it goes from my son basically telling him that he did nothing. It was his friend, Dominic, who molested him,
Dominic
right?
Brasha, right.
Right. But because Corey Feldman didn't want anybody to know and to keep it in people's minds that it was his friend that he actually moved in with as well, he didn't want anybody to know that. So he came up with another story. And I don't want to mention mention his name because it's somebody that Dominic, obviously, he's not going to say, oh, yeah, I molested Corey. You know, so he went and he said something on the front page of the Inquirer recently.
Right.
Right, accusing this one big actor. Okay,
right.
So that's the guy that Corey Feldman, after my son passed away, that's the guy that he said to me on the phone, I'm writing a book, I need for it to be dramatic, and I'm going to say that he was molested at age 11. By the way, at age 11, my son was still going to school in Canada.
Oh, my God.
At age 11, on Lucas, that he was molested by a very big guy, and he's the one that came up with the name, and since then, for 7 years, he's been saying that this is the guy that molested my kid, and that's what I have in my email.
So the email, Corey Feldman wrote an email saying he's going to say this happened, even though it didn't happen the way he said it happened.
That's right. By the way, did you get Greg?
Brian, give me a shot right now. We're going to try right now.
Okay, good. First of all, he goes like this in an email to me. Number one, in the same email, it's all the same email that I'm going to read to you little bits here and there. So he actually admits, and he goes, yes, Dominic was a pedophile. He finally says it last year to me in an email. Okay? Now, if that's the case, then why in the world did you introduce my son to him and other boys to him, okay? Why is it that when my son actually said on the two Corys that it's your friend that molested me, Corey Feldman knew exactly who he was talking about. I didn't hear Corey Feldman going and saying, oh, are you talking about Marty? Who are you talking about? He didn't say that.
How difficult and crazy was it to hear that your son had been molested by Dominic or by any man at this point? You didn't know a name yet. How does a mother go through that? What was that like, Judy?
Well, it was really shocking. But you see, I knew my kid, and I told him right away, let's go and do something about it. Immediately. And he said, no, I want to take this to my grave. I dealt with it. I'm dealing with it. He says, I want to put it behind it. I'm not going to make a big deal in the media and everything else because they're going to turn everything around. I need to get my life together. And no, I'm telling you this. And he told Greg and some of his other friends, obviously. And he says, I want to put this to bed. I want to take it to my grave, and I never want to bring it up again.
That's amazing. Brian, do we have him up yet? Is Greg here? All right.
Hello.
Hey, Greg, this is AJ Benza.
How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm sorry. I called you late last night. I guess it was a cell. I started talking to Judy about 10 minutes ago, and then I said, let me hang up, and my engineer is here. We're going to try to get you and her together on the same conference call so we do this podcast. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
A little background, Greg. You never were in the business. You were just a buddy of Corey's for 20 years, right? Just a regular guy, not an actor?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call myself in the biz, but I have been in the biz. I have done small roles. I've scriptwritten. I've done all the departments, PA, all this kind of stuff. I've always been in the background somehow.
You met Corey. How old were you guys when you first started hanging out?
I was 21 because it was before I celebrated my 22nd birthday with him.
And I'm sure, and we're going to get into it, I know Judy was starting to tell me about an email that Corey had written her that's crazy, erroneous in so many ways we think we know about the two of them. But he was confidential with you. I mean, I guess he brought some stuff to your attention about Dominic Brasher. That's what Judy said. He said he didn't tell many people, but he told you.
Oh, absolutely. I was there in his sort of the healing days. We called him the 100 Roehampton when he just needed a friend to talk to, and I could
What did you call it? What did you call the days?
100 Roehampton was the apartment building. We called them the balcony days because we spent hours just confiding in each other.
Wow.
And he got very intimate, very, very.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and yes, Judy was there when he confided in the most the amazing story that everyone wants to know about. Judy was absolutely there.
No one asked this question, but do you feel, or maybe you even know, that do you ever think Corey Feldman was kind of pimping Not only Corey, but other boys maybe we don't know about. Does that ever cross your mind, or was that brought up?
Oh, yeah. No, it's definitely crossed my mind, but I mean, I couldn't confirm that. I mean, it would be that sort of hearsay alleged because of words like, and a lot of other boys and Wrangler, you know, and it was apparent in the description that, yeah. But at the same time, I'm not maliciously trying to attack him. I'm just defending my friend, right?
But then do you think the drug use is more about that or just about being in Hollywood in general? Because I went through my drug days as well. I'm no angel.
Oh, yeah. No, and I was no angel. I'm a good Christian boy now, but I definitely have had my share of stuff. I'm not claiming to be perfect. But basically, yeah, to answer your question, and I will even use some of the choice words that Corey Haim said, there's more nails in this guy's coffin than, you know, the alleged sort of one person. It's the media, it's his pain, it's his relationships, it's the whole facade, the illusions, what's being said about in the media. I'm like, oh, come on, you're famous, blah, blah, blah. This shouldn't matter. And it's like, yeah, it hurts. And this is a nail in my coffin for sure. And he would use those words. Absolutely. He was very open. And this whole illusion that he couldn't speak, oh my God, you could not be faint of heart and be his friend. He would tell you what he thinks, and I even lived with Judy. Judy and him for like probably about a year, maybe more. I've seen up close, and even when I didn't live with them, I'd be there at his house every day for years. So I've seen the relationship and the openness. So this whole, like, I know I've heard all the arguments from the other side. Oh, he couldn't tell. Oh, yeah, he could. He said whatever he wanted, and he let everything out. It wasn't just a magical moment where he got pissed on the two Coreys.
No, I could see that what he said on the two Coreys in that one episode where he confronted Feldman. I could see it was a natural way for him to act and talk back to somebody. It wasn't something that just popped into his being at that moment. That was him. Frankly, that was the one time in that show. And I've been on reality shows. They're so crazy scripted and shit. That was the one time in the show I said, this is fucking real. Right here. Actually, it just got real.
Absolutely, and actually, because people don't believe me, oh, yeah, you're not Corey Haim's friend, blah, 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 there's an article, People Magazine, August 4th, 2008, where even Corey Feldman answered the question, did you know Corey was going to bring up sexual abuse on the show? No. When he did, my jaw hit the table. I couldn't believe he'd do that. This stuff is very private, very personal. Even he, out of Feldman's own mouth, admitted this was the real deal, the magic moment of like, let's confront this stuff, and I'm pissed at you. And like, I mean, part of my testimony, even for your show today, is I can clearly tell you, because I worked on Oh What a Night with Barbara Williams and Robbie Coltrane, and basically, since then, I know they weren't friends. My 20-year friendship, they weren't friends. They weren't friends all that time. Only the phone calls that I heard and spoke to him was just before the two Coreys, because it's a commodity. So bursting the bubble for the fans of the illusion of this friendship, it's hurtful because of the pinups and the legally feelings. But the reality is, we're talking projecting fantasy versus reality. And unfortunately, we have to burst this bubble because of everything that's been saying. I mean, it's a Who Framed Roger Rabbit for duality and controversy to sell and to find his way to move forward. Sorry, I'm letting it all out.
No, it's great. Listen, one of the real creepy aspects of Corey Feldman is finally admitting to Judy that Dominic Brascia, he says, was a pedophile, as if it's something you could shake. Dominic Brascia is a pedophile, and I think at some point Judy mentioned that Corey Feldman had Brascia move in with him. Is that right?
Yep.
How do you move in a fucking pedophile? Apparently this was at the time that he was being emancipated with his
from his parents, etc. And
I don't care.
This is a nice side of me to go. He was young. He was messed up. His parents screwed. I mean, I'm not out to get Feldman, right? He was young. I don't even blame him. Even Corey Haim, even though he was pissed with him, and he still forgave him. And this is part of the illusion that's going around of like, no, they were best friends till the end. Yeah,
no,
because he forgave him because he was still pissed, but his nature was to go, you know what? It happened, move on.
Yeah, no,
and
I
already
understand.
moved on from my friendship.
It's just the way. It's a better coping mechanism to move on. Get the apology out of the way, or just. You can't fight it. Feldman, well, unfortunately, he's not here to fight it anymore, or else he would have been fighting it. It wouldn't be up to just